What's the one skill that separates elite deal makers from average ones? And I don't know if that there is one skill. I think it's kind of, holistic. I guess fundamentally, instead of talking about one skill, I could talk about kind of attributes of elite deal makers. I think elite deal makers have the ability to size up the context of the battlefield pretty quickly. Remember, like when you're doing deals all the time, you're recognizing, it's a lot of pattern recognition. You see a lot of the same things over and over. So you have to be able to recognize what the context of the board looks like in terms of the buyers out there. I think you have to be able to really emotionally detach yourself from the negotiations. And I don't mean suppress emotions per se. I don't mean don't feel. I just mean that you have to find yourself in a position where you are not needy, right? Like, I think it's important. Everyone out there that's going to engage an investment banker needs to make sure that their deal, while important to the investment banker, is not extremely important to the investment banker, because they're going to have the same emotional needs that you, the seller, will have. And that's not a good position to be in. So you've got to be able to emotionally detach yourself as a deal maker and say, my job is to get my client a great deal. It's not to get a deal done. It's to get a great deal. And I need to be able to step back emotionally from the transaction. I think great deal makers have the ability to help their clients manage their own emotions. I think that, and this was something that was very difficult for me, actually, and I've had to learn this over the years. Great deal makers do substantially far more listening than talking, right? It really is about extracting as much information as you possibly can from each situation that you're dealing with, and not doing a ton of talking. I mean, it gets to the point right now, I actually get ridiculed sometime in my own office that I'll sit there for 45 minutes and not say anything. And I'm the guy who, my VP of M&A execution always makes fun of me from the standpoint, he's like, sometimes it's really awkward to be on the phone with you when we're on some of these negotiations, because I can literally sit there for 10 minutes and not say anything at all while the other side figures out what they're going to say. Like I appreciate long periods of silence. I don't have the need to fill the air. And I think that's a skill that very, very elite deal makers pick up over time. And you've got to be comfortable with being in very awkward situations and awkward silences, because at the end of the day, that's really what helps you kind of gauge neediness on the other side of the table. I think elite deal makers learn to not react emotionally. I talked about emotional detachment, but it's also like you have to be okay kind of sitting with yourself and really thinking about things. In any M&A deal, you've got just an ungodly amount of data points coming at you, right? Let's say you're negotiating with 8 buyers trying to sell one business. So you're following 8 different conversations, 8 different buyers who have different goals and objectives, who want to do different things, who have different abilities actually to close the deal. So you've got to be able and willing to sit down and really think through things on behalf of your clients.